What's up, y'all? It's Devinn here, and so eager to share my story with you guys. It actually starts before I was born with my family, a bunch of Jesus followers, and my grandmother prophesied that I'd be a pastor when I was in my mother's womb. Now, trust me, growing up, I didn't want anything to do with that. I wanted to be Tony Stark / Allen Iverson / 50 Cent all wrapped up in one. But it's so cool that Jesus has been an influence in my life through my family for a long time. When I was younger, my family actually got separated for a time and went through some turbulence bouncing around the city. And when they got back together, it was amazing, but it got me thinking and asking questions of what lasts and where do I belong and what's really important in life. And around 10 or 12, I started to ask those questions, and in my early teenage years, I actually got very close to taking my own life because I felt as if I had no purpose in this life. And through many people and through my family and through mentors, relationships, and pastors, and through a moment in prayer, God stepped in and said, "Devin, I made you with destiny and purpose, even though you don't feel like it." And that moment kind of sparked something in me where I began to follow Jesus and be baptized. And from there, got to be discipled by some amazing people in my family that fed my faith and supported me. And ultimately, though, I was still kind of wrestling with what am I supposed to do here? What does that look like practically? And I remember being about 15 years old, and I was really starting to read the scriptures and understand who Jesus was and my identity in him. And my friends started giving me the nickname Pastor D, and I still wanted nothing to do with it. But one year, I ended up going to this youth camp, and I got to see a lot of my friends coming alive in Jesus and discovering their identity, their purpose, their calling. And I realized that there was nothing more I wanted to do than to see other people come to know and experience Jesus for themselves and become all that he made them to be. And really reluctantly, I said, man, I think I'm supposed to do this pastoring ministry thing, while still having the hoop dream in the back of my mind. And so I started playing basketball and learning more and being discipled intentionally, and ended up getting to achieve the dream and play college basketball, with shout outs to that. It was an amazing experience. But I came back from my first year back to Lansing, a place I really wanted to leave and get away from, because I wasn't sure, man, could God really move in a place like Lansing? And city life was launching. And I remember getting a part of the team and getting to coach some of the high school guys at Eastern, and through maybe a year or two of learning and growing and being discipled by the team here, I realized, man, God was moving into the same neighborhoods I wanted to escape from. God was getting close to the people that I hadn't connected with or overlooked. And that God had a place and a destiny and a calling for me right in my hometown, potholes and all. And so that led to doing an internship and to do the Minster and training and saying, all right, Lord, what does it look like to put our roots deep here in Lansing, the 517, to get close and to watch restoration happen? And man, the fruit's been incredible. It's all God's grace. But it kind of capstones a few weeks ago. My grandfather actually passed. Shout out to Joe Bass. And man of legacy and of faith for 40, 50 years, loving his city well, doing it long before it was ever an idea for us, because it was a God idea. He's a legend in his city, and he would care and love people and the practical. And I remember when he passed, the amount of stories that would come out about who he was and the type of man he was, how he represented the kingdom and how he loved people really well. And maybe my hope is, and I don't know about divine timing, but I think I want to help carry part of that legacy of loving the city here in Lansing. So I'm eager to grow and learn and do this with you all together as we seek to become like Jesus. Let's do this.